Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Lycan, and this is your Lycan Report. So, the movie that we're going to be checking out a review on today is Werewolf by Night. Now, Marvel Studios has been introducing some new characters to the MCU. And upon introducing these particular characters, we got several characters of the darker nature. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, characters like Moon Knight. Alright? On top of that, we got the future project that everybody is waiting for, Blade, to come out. But the one project that they came out with that a lot of people didn't realize that was actually going to drop is Werewolf by Night. So you got Gail Banal, he plays Jack. You've got Laura Donnelly, she plays Lisa. And you also have, I believe, Harriet Harris. Now, roughly what this story is about is you have basically a guild of monster slayers, and the head of this guild is unfortunately deceased, and all the followers of the guild, they come in and they're basically trying to choose a new leader. Upon choosing a new leader, they have basically a little trial by execution type of deal going on, almost like a game of death going on. And you know, Gale, as I said, he plays Jack. He has a special ability which he's been trying to keep private and secret. Now, when it comes to the actual cast, they did pretty well. I mean, for the most part, they made their characters seem believable. Instead of, you know, being distracted or distant and so forth, they actually, you know, brought you once again into the actual story, and you actually had, you know, certain cases and moments where it's just like, oh wow, you know, you really fit your part. When it comes to the graphics, I want to say majority of the graphics were believable. They were not they weren't just thrown and put together. I mean, there were a couple times where the CGI was a little green screened, so you could tell, you know, that it was fake in nature. But for the most part, once again, you know, Marvel has been doing improvements in this actual aspect, especially with, you know, Avengers and so forth, of future projects getting ready to come to flourishing. But anyway, when it comes to costume design, is because the reason why I say costume design is because Werewolf by Night is relatively an older type of flick. It gives you the kind of feel of like Sin City, and when you do that type of filming, where majority of the film is in black and white, some people are a little distaste towards that. For me personally, I kind of enjoy it just because of the fact that sometimes you get color all the time and everybody's expecting this, and you just hit them with something different. And when it comes to the actual color showing graphics, you know, it just appeals, you know, it draws you in. When it comes to the costume design of the werewolf, that was the part I really wasn't in favor for. And the reason why I say that is because when you have older werewolves in pictures, especially depicting you know, old style filming or just old stories, they always want to use the same type of costume design, where it seems as if the werewolf, you know, they try to bring like a hybrid variation, but it's almost like instead of doing a half man, half wolf, it's almost like a wolf and a demon mix. It doesn't really have the effect of actually looking like a half human, half wolf. So, you know, when you have those type of movies, and I'm talking about, like, as an example, Wolf. You know, if you actually watch that movie and see the costume design of that actual werewolf in the movie, literally it is like, you know, you could have done a better job. And the thing is, sometimes when you have werewolves in movies and they've done CGI, they can't seem to get the design right, because like sometimes you'll have this massive wolf and then like if you look at its head, its ears are like way back and either small or just forced together, because of the way they have the body shaped, and it doesn't always work out. And most of the time when they have CGI werewolves in pictures, you can tell it's CGI. It's really distracting because it takes away from the actual scene, because you're sitting here like, wow, what's this fake thing doing in this setting, and so forth. Plot of the story. Once again, for me and anybody watching this, they will seem as if the story is a little rushed. It's only an hour long, and as I said, it's presented kind of rushed because you really don't get a taste of what's going on with the characters. They're just thrown in together, almost as if you're being thrown into like a middle episode of one of these TV series that they're putting together, where you don't get that much time and you want to know more, you want to have a connection with the characters, but you really don't get it. Like Gail's character, or Jack, he apparently is the werewolf in this particular picture, but you don't know his backstory. Obvious reasons when he's a werewolf, he's going to change during the full moon, but you don't really get the fullness of his conditions until later on in the story. And it also is a little distracting, is because of the fact that because of the situation he's actually in, you don't understand whether people are hunting him or actually involved in the game. Laura's character, Lisa, it's kind of strange, is because you don't exactly know why her character is hated upon from other characters. You also don't really understand how she can almost switch sides at the drop of a hat, almost as if her character really has no loyalty. And then when it comes to the Lisa character, there have been rumors going about that supposedly the MCU may be actually inducting her particular character as a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which we hope does not happen, is because if you look at Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, it was the comical horror. The comedy was and then at the same time, the TV series that the CW had put out wasn't relatively good when you go through later on seasons. So I mean, when it comes to the Lycan report on a 1 to 5 scale, I would have to give this a 3.5. I give it a 3.5 majorly is because, as I said, you've got good fight scenes, you've got decent graphics going on, but the story is like too rushed. You really can't tell what's going on. On top of that, there's just too many questions that are raised. Granted, yeah, you have this quick little werewolf story, but there's just too much going on in a small amount of time for you to really understand if you can say yay or nay that you like it. So literally, I would give it a 3.5. Most people have given it a 4.5, and relatively, a Marvel and those who like older films. But if you're a person that's just a fresh out the box watching this, as I said, it's a decent watch, and yes, I would watch it again, but there are too many questions that are raised that are not explained. Like, as an example, we got the character Ted. Who's Ted? I mean, from the design of the character, he kind of looks like a Swamp Thing type of deal, but you really don't know what he is, because when he actually shows his powers, you can't tell if he's a swamp creature or if he's a fire creature. It raises too many questions. But as I said, it's a decent show. It's cool to watch it again, but that's just being safe to say factual. What is, what isn't, what's real, what's not.